right, beautiful day on this Wednesday afternoon in Waterbury, Connecticut, to wrap up the post-university post-university softball season. As we welcome you upstairs inside to the broadcast booth, Griffin Cast on hand. So glad you could be with us here on this gorgeous Wednesday afternoon in the end of April. It is Dominican in town here to face off against the Eagles for the first time in this 2024 campaign. Eagles 17 wins all time against Dominican, 32 losses. They come into this one at 6-38 on the year, 2-18 in conference. And for Dominican, they come into this one at 10-25 overall, 7-11 in CACC play. They're coming off of a doubleheader against Chestnut Hill on Monday, where they won Game 1 11-2, and then Game 2 13-5. And for the Eagles, they are coming off of a doubleheader yesterday at STAC. They lost the first game 4-0, but won the second 8-3. And let's set the field here for the Eagles here in Game 1. Typical lineup here with the outfield. We'll start with that to begin. It is Sam Ricarduli in left. In center field, Carly Peruso. In right field, the freshman Alyssa Calabrese. The infield, it is Caitlin DeAngelis at third base. At shortstop, Brooke Dickinson. At second base, Julia Maida. At first base, Lily Tomasello. Behind the dish is Juliana Sakala. And on the mound, making her 15th start of the season, it is Madison Caldwell with a 7.14 ERA, 82.1 innings of work this year for Caldwell. She's pitched the most innings out of any pitcher on the team. Devin Barnett right behind her with 81.1. And the first pitch of the game from Caldwell is a strike right down Broadway. Leading things off, it is the shortstop for Dominican, Chloe McIntosh. And McIntosh fouls that down the left field line. McIntosh, a junior. Again, first matchup of the year here between the Lady Chargers and the Eagles. Last one was on April 6, 2023, where Dominican won 6-3, and that one's fouled away. Caldwell with a 1-13 record this season. And Griffin Cast on hand here on the CACC network as Caldwell misses upstairs with that one. This is her 15th game that she started, the 19th game that she's appeared in. She's allowed 161 hits on the year. 26 strikeouts, make it 27 as she gets her first of the day right there. McIntosh is caught looking. And that will bring up the center field here, Emma Kasovitz. So a nice start there for Caldwell. And that one is hit on the first pitch to the left side. The bare hand by DeAngelis cannot make the play. And Kasovitz reaches on an error there. And Madison Walker, playing first base here today for the Lady Chargers, will step in. First pitch, high and outside. Head coach here for Dominican is Samantha McDonald in her second season. Julie Meyer-Jones, the head coach here for the Eagles in her third year. Nice off-speed pitch, paints the outside corner there for Caldwell. Caldwell, a right-hander, a senior from Townsend, Delaware, stands at 5'2". Got the most innings pitched here by an Eagle pitcher this year, and she misses that one outside. And these These two games here in the doubleheader today on this Wednesday afternoon, the final games of the regular season for the Eagles. There's a swing and a miss, and the second strikeout here in the top of the first for Caldwell. So Haley Ridge will step in, playing third base here today in game one for the Lady Chargers. These two games are not the final two of the regular season for Dominican. They play tomorrow at home versus Wilmington in a doubleheader. First pitch in the first game is slated to start at 2:30. Eagles are 2-12 here at Lemoy Field this season. That one's fouled away. Caldwell looking good here in this top of the first. 2 strikeouts, 2 outs, looking to retire the side. And she deals, and a swing and a miss. So 3 strikeouts there for Caldwell in the top of the first. And we head to the bottom of the first. No score here at Lemoy. All right, bottom of the first here at Lemoy Field. Let's set the field here for the Lady Chargers. We'll start with the outfield. Out in left field, it is Emily Angulo. In center field, it is Emma Kasovitz. In right field, Adriana Barnes. And for the infield, at the hot corner at third, it's Haley Ridge. At short, Chloe McIntosh. At second base, Tony Joe Lopez. At first base, Madison Walker. Behind the dish is Giovanna Salcido. And on the mound, it is Emily Baxter, who's got the best ERA for Dominican this year, making her 26th start of the season. She's got a 4.94 ERA. 157.1 innings pitched for Baxter. She's a sophomore. This is the 30th game that she's appeared in. Again, making her 26th start. Dictionary definition of a workhorse in the pitching circle. And leading things off here, it is Caitlin DeAngelis. Best batting average on the year, hitting .353, making her 44th start of the season. 133 at-bats, 47 hits, .496 slugging percentage, and a .423 on base percentage. And DeAngela strikes out in her first at-bat here in the doubleheader. And that will bring up Sam Ricarduli. On April 10th, she got her 100th hit in her post-university career in her grad year with the Eagles. Second on the team in batting average this year, hitting .350. 143 at-bats. She leads the team in at-bats this year. 50 hits, leads the team in hits. .406 slugging percentage and a .408 on base percentage. She takes that one upstairs from Baxter. Baxter, the right-hander here for Dominican. And Ricarduli grounds that one out to the left side, and The play is made by the shortstop there, McIntosh, and there's 2 down here in the bottom of the first, and that will bring up Lily Tomasello, who holds the biggest storyline here today. She's second in the conference in home runs this year with 9, and she is tied with her last home run. She has tied the single-season home run record at post, so 1 more here. She only has 2 more games to get it, 1 more home run, and she holds the single-season record for home runs here in Post University softball. So all eyes on the number 3 batter here. 3rd on the team in batting average, hitting .272, leading the team by a large margin in RBIs at 28. She skies this one in the infield, and that one will not leave the yard. McIntosh is under it, and there's a 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. We head to the second. No score here at Lemoyne. Five, 6, 7 due up here for Dominican in the top of the first. Both pitchers look good in the first inning. And Giovanna Salcido will lead things off here, taking care of the catching duties here for Dominican today. Caldwell with 3 strikeouts in that top of the first. She did allow a runner on base. That was Kasovitz reaching first on an error. Or pardon me, they actually ruled out a hit, an infield single by Kasovitz. One ball, 1 strike, and Caldwell deals. Misses that one upstairs. Fastball misses the outside corner right there. Salcido is a redshirt junior, and she lifts that one into left center field, and that will hit off of the fence, but it will not be extra bases. Yeah, an excellent throw there from Carly Peruso into the infield to keep that missile to the fence, just a single. Adriana Barnes will step in here, playing right field today for Dominican. She swings at the first pitch. Caldwell throws to second. They try and get the double play, but Tomasello is off of the bag. Nice effort there by the Eagles. They get the lead runner at second. So Emily Angulo will step in, the left fielder, a sophomore from Wilmington, California. A nursing major at Dominican. And she hits that one right to Maida. Line drive, double play. Excellent play there by Maida. And the Eagles avoid a leadoff base runner. 3 consecutive outs after that missile to left center field. We head to the bottom of the second. No score here at Lemoyne. 1, 2, 3 for the Eagles in the bottom of the first, as they have 4, 5, 6 due up here in the bottom of the second. Juliana Regano will step in. Only hitting 115 this year, making her 21st start, 52 at-bats, 6 hits. Definitely a down year for Regano. She was electric last year. Regano, a graduate student. Last year she hit 306 in 2023. So definitely has regressed this year in her grad year. But looking to lead the Eagles off here in the bottom of the second. She swings at that one and whiffs on it. Regano a .258 on base percentage this year. She's from Franklin Square, New York. And Baxter winds and deals. And paints the outside corner. Called strike 3. So that is 2 strikeouts now for the sophomore. And the catcher, Juliana Sakala, will dig in here. 4th on the team in batting average this year. Hitting .211. 114 at-bats, 24 hits, 10 RBIs, .219 slugging, and a .302 on base percentage. And that one paints the outside corner. Seems like our home plate umpire today has quite a big strike zone. And Baxter deals. Upstairs and out. Sakala, a senior from Cedar Grove, New Jersey. Making her 41st start of the season this year, and she looks at that one in the outside corner for a called strike. 2 strikes now on Sakala. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the second here in Game 1 at Lemoy. So glad you're with us here on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon to wrap up the post-university softball season. Kind of a check swing there by Sakala, and she fouls it down the first base line. Wasn't fully committed there on swinging the bat, but she spoils it, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two. Look good from our vantage point, but it misses just outside. So the count's full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Baxter looking for her 3rd strikeout in her 26th start of the season. And Sakala makes her work for it. Sakala last year as a junior hit .232. Played in 39 games and started in 32 of those. Once again, the 3-2 on its way from Baxter. Low and inside, and Sakala draws a walk. Excellent at-bat there. And the Eagles have their first base runner of the game. So Julia Maida, who made that nice double play to end things last half inning, will step into the batter's box here. Hitting .195 on the year. She started in all 44 games that she's appeared in. 113 at-bats, 22 hits. And she swings and misses at the first offering from Baxter. Made a .204 slugging percentage and a .295 on base percentage this year. She is a senior from Staten Island. And she looks at that one right down the hatch. And Baxter quickly able to get ahead on the senior here. It's 0 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Sakala is on first. The first base runner here of the game for the Eagles. Baxter deals, and a nice spot. Trying to get Maida to chase outside there. 21 pitches now for Baxter. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 0 hits, 0 earned runs. And the 1-2 upstairs. It's really hard to believe how many innings pitched Baxter has thrown this year, coming into the doubleheader here today with 157.1 innings of work this year. There's a check swing. Do they ring up Maida? They're going to check. No, she did not go around. So 3 consecutive balls here. Count started at 0-2. Now it's full. And the payoff pitch on its way from Baxter. And after going down 0-2 in the count, Maida draws a walk. Back-to-back walks from Baxter, and the Eagles have runners at second and first with only 1 out in the bottom of the second. So Alyssa Calabrese, a freshman, will step in here. A Connecticut native from Oakville, stands at 5'10", hitting 181 on the year, making her 32nd start in the 36th game that she's appeared in. 94 at-bats, 17 hits for the Connecticut native. 191 slugging percentage and a .238 on-base percentage. So first type of adversity of the game here for Baxter. And a swing and a miss there from Calabrese on the fastball upstairs and out. The 0-1. 0-2. So nice response there from Baxter after walking 2 batters. And she was ahead 0-2 to Maida and then threw 4 straight balls. So let's see what Calabrese can generate here. Down 0-2 in the count. That one misses outside. 28 pitches now for Baxter. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 0 hits. And the 1-2. Skied foul behind the Eagles dugout. Calabrese played softball and basketball in high school. And she fouls that one away. She's currently majoring in communications media studies here at Post University. One ball, 2 strikes. Runners at second and first. Baxter deals. And Calabrese with yet another foul ball behind that Eagles dugout. She's on it. A single would likely drive in Sakala at second. Maida is on first. Once again, the 1-2. And once again, another foul ball behind that Eagles dugout from Calabrese. We see a little activity in that Dominican bullpen. The 1-2. Towards the fence, and it on that right field line, and it sails out of play. Another foul ball by Calabrese. Eagles working some really good at-bats here in the bottom of the second. Oh, that's a beautiful off-speed pitch, and it rings up Calabrese. She's caught looking, and Baxter has her second out in the bottom of the second. So Brooke Dickinson will step in here for Post. Hitting 148 on the year, 88 at-bats, 13 hits, 170 slugging percentage, and a 242 on base percentage. Swings and misses at that one, and Baxter, one strike away from getting out of this little jam here in the bottom of the second. Dickinson, a junior from Vineland, New Jersey. And the 0-2 is on its way from Baxter. Just misses outside. One, two. One, two. Swing and a miss. Fourth strikeout of the game for Baxter. And 2 innings are in the books here at Lemoy Field. 0-0. All right, top of the third here at Lemoy Field, no score. It's been a nice little pitching duel here to start. Baxter with 4 strikeouts, Caldwell with 3 strikeouts. And it is 8-9 and then top due up here for Dominican in the top of the third. Rosemary Espinoza will step in here to lead things off in the top of the third for Dominican. .23 pitches for Caldwell, 2 hits, 0 walks, 3 strikeouts. She's been outstanding here in her start today, making her 15th start of the year. Espinoza appearing in her 21st game of the year. She is a freshman from Baymont, California, and she rips that one into left field for a leadoff single in the top of the third. Ground ball single for Espinoza. And Dominican with a leadoff base runner here in the top of the third. That is the 3rd hit here for the Lady Chargers. And Tony Joe Lopez, the 9-hitter, squares, trying to lay down that sac bunt. Top of the order is on deck here for Dominican. The square, beautiful bunt, and that's trouble for the Eagles. They do not get the out at first. It is a bunt single for Joe Lopez. And Dominican with runners at second and first. No outs in the top of the order here in the top of the third. McIntosh, the shortstop here, struck out looking in her first at-bat, and she skies that into deep right field. Calabrese right near the fence. She makes the grab. Tagging from second to third is Espinoza. So Kazovitz will step in. She had an infield single in her first at-bat. She's got runners at the corners here with only one out in the top of the third. Kasovitz, a junior from Hicksville, New York. That one's low and in. Kasovitz with 8 RBIs on the year. Fouls that one away. That one's right down Broadway for a called strike. Beautiful delivery there by Caldwell. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at the corners here for Dominican. Trying to break the seal open here in the top of the third. 2-2. That's poked, and that's trouble. Into right field. A run will come in. Espinoza is home. That is the 9th run batted in on the year for Kasovitz. And it is 1-0 Dominican here in game 1. Madison Walker struck out swinging in her first at-bat. Steps in here with only 1 out. Runners at second and first. Dominican with 5 hits here in game 1. 1 run to show for. And that one is poked. Tomasello makes the grab. 2 down here in the top of the third. So the first baseman for Dominican lines out to first base. And Tomasello makes the grab. Haley Ridge, who struck out swinging in her first at-bat, steps in, and she skies that into deep right field, trailing back to the wall, and that one is gone. Forget about it. The wind carried that one out a little bit, and Ridge has got a 3-run moonshot to put Dominican up 4-0 here in the top of the third. Ridge now with 32 RBIs on the year. She leads the team in that category, and she leads a yard. This is the catcher, Salcido, who singled to left center in her first at-bat. 2 down here in the top of the third. Eagles trying to get out of this inning here, and that one misses inside and low. 6 hits now for Dominican, and a 4-0 lead. Done a lot of damage here in the top of the third. Caldwell up to 37 pitches now, and that one is right down the middle. Called strike on the outside corner. 2 strikes now on the catcher. that's ripped, and that will get through. 7th hit of the game for Dominican, and this top of the third continues here with a 2-out single there by the catcher. So Salcido is now 2 for 2, and Adriana Barnes steps in. She reached first on a fielder's choice in her first at-bat. Caldwell just trying to stop the bleeding here in the top of the third and get the Eagles back to the bats. And that one's rolled over, and Dickinson runs out of room there on that third base line, a foul ball. Foul ball there from Barnes. That one's hit to the right side. Maida with a nice effort, but she can't flip it to DeAngelis in time, and the top of the third continues here. Angulo steps in, lined into that double play in her first at-bat. So runners at second and first, 2 outs, top of the third. That one is ruled as an error, the first error here of the game for the Eagles. One out. Weak dribbler, left side, Dickinson. There was it to first in time. And that ends the top of the third. Haley Ridge with a 3-run shot to put Dominican up 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the third right here at Lemoy. All right, bottom of the third here at Lemoy Field. Do the Eagles have an answer? 9, and then top due up here for post. Haley Ridge with a 3-run bomb into right field in that top of the third, and it is 4-0 Dominican. They have 7 hits here. Eagles still searching for their first hit, and Peruso will dig in here. She is 5th on the team in batting average this year at 196. 97 at-bats, 19 hits for Peruso, 268 slugging percentage, and a 319 on base percentage. Again, so glad you're with us here on this Wednesday afternoon at Lemoy Field, wrapping up this post-university softball season. And again, so glad you've been able to tune in all school year long for post-university athletics. First year that Post is streaming their home events. It's been a pleasure to bring the action to you. all school year long. We've seen lots of great moments here at Post this school year. Just recapping it, the men's soccer team dominating on the pitch in the fall. Both of the basketball teams in the winter making a run at the CACC championship, just coming up a little short. And here in the spring, we've seen the spring sports here, softball and baseball, and then both of the lacrosse teams. It was a very quick school year at that. Absolutely flew by. Can remember those first two soccer games on August 31st and then September 2nd like it was yesterday. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Peruso, and she swings and misses at that one. And that is the 5th strikeout for Baxter. She has been spectacular here in her 26th start of the season. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, 0 hits, and 46 pitches. So DeAngelis struck out in her first at-bat, but first pitch she sees, she rips it to left field for the first hit of the game for the Eagles. DeAngelis delivers one. Her 48th hit on the year. And Mike Vesey is running away to try and get that Lily Tomasello at-bat. Tomasello's on deck, just a reminder. As Rick Arduli steps in, Tomasello is 1 home run away from breaking the single-season record here at Post. And Rick Arduli ground out to shortstop in her first at-bat. One ball, 1 strike. DeAngelis on first, and Rick Arduli swings away at that one. It might draw a car. Oh, it does. A double whammy there. It hits 2 cars behind that Dominican dugout. We hope that those vehicles are okay. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the left fielder for the Eagles. Baxter looking for her 6th strikeout in the start. And she misses that one low. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. DeAngelis is on first. Bottom of the 3rd here at Lemoy. 7-1 in hits Dominican, 4-0 in runs Dominican. 2-2. Slapped into the Dominican bullpen. Two. Swing and a miss. And that will bring up the scintillating star of the hour here. All eyes on Lily Tomasello. 9 home runs on the year. She's 2nd in the conference in dingers and 1 home run away from breaking that single season record here at Post. First pitch to Tomasello. She swings for the fences on that one. Tomasello fouls that one behind the backstop. She's behind in the count here, 0-2. You can tell she wants it, man. She's gunning for it here in the doubleheader, and she'll take that one on the outside for a ball. It's a beautiful day to break a record. Baxter with 6 strikeouts here in this one delivers the 1-2 upstairs. Tomasello popped up in the infield in her first at-bat. Two. That's hit out well into left center field, but it hits off of the wall. That will bring in a run, however. DeAngelis is in. That is the 29th run batted in on the year from Tomasello. And oh so close from getting her 10th home run of the year. So Regana, who struck out looking in her first at-bat. And the director of athletic communications here at Post University, Michael Vesey, was like, oh, just so close. And that's what we were thinking upstairs here in the broadcast booth. But nonetheless, the Eagles get their first run of the game off of a double there by Tomasello. And Regano swings and misses at the 1-1. One, two. Fouled away. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Eagles have gotten their first run across here in the game. They trail 4-1. Regano has Tomasello waiting for her out there at second, but she swings and misses at that one. And 3 innings are in the books. We head to the top of the fourth. Lily Tomasello nearly made history there for the Eagles, but nonetheless, she gets a RBI double to get the Eagles on the board. It's 4-1 Dominican here at Lemoyne. All right, top of the fourth. The Eagles get their first run across in the bottom of the third. It is 4-1 Dominican. And it is 8-9, and then top due up here for the Lady Chargers in the top of the fourth. Rosemary Espinoza, who's singled to left field in her first at-bat. Lily Tomasello was the one who drove in that run, as that is angling to the right field line. Tails just foul. We were all on pins and needles because we thought it was going to leave the yard there. And if you're just tuning in, Lily Tomasello is 1 home run away from breaking the single season record. She is second in the conference this year in home runs with 9. So something to keep your eye out for during this doubleheader, the final 2 games of the season here for the Eagles. 6-38 on the year. Dominican 10-25. That one is ripped. And it gets past DeAngelis and it heads into the outfield. And Espinoza with some strong contact in her first 2 at-bats. And they rule that a hit. So 8 hits now for the Lady Chargers. Tony Jo Lopez, who had a bunt single in her first at-bat, squares on this one to try and get the sac or face down. 1-0. Lopez did not square on that one. I would have her square after that bunt that she laid down in her first at-bat. It was a beauty. 2-0. She is swinging, and she leaves that one right down the middle. 2 balls, 1 strike to the 9 batter. Getting top of the 4th here at Lemoyne. So glad you're with us here for the final edition of Post University Softball in this 2024 campaign. Tony Joe Lopez squares on that one. Dickinson fires to first in time, but Espinoza advances to second. So Tony Joe Lopez does her job. And that brings up the top of the order. So McIntosh, who's 0 for 2, steps in. And she swings at the first one and fouls it down the third base line. 8 hits for Dominican, 2 for Post, a 4-1 lead for the Lady Chargers, trying to capture their 11th win of the year. That one paints the outside corner. Excellent delivery there by Caldwell. The Eagles have not beaten the Lady Chargers since April 12th, 2022. Trying to get their first victory against Dominican in 2 years. And that's a nice swing right up the gut. That will bring in Espinoza. She digs around third. And McIntosh with her first hit of the game. It is an RBI double. And it's 5-1 Dominican. And Mikazovitz, 2 for 2 on the game. RBI single to right field in her first at-bat. It drove in the first run of the game for the Lady Chargers. They have 9 hits now. And Kasovitz with 2 of the 9. The 1-0. That's skied into center. Peruso is under it. She makes the grab for out number 2 here in the top of the 4th. Madison Walker is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Lined out to first base in her previous at-bat. Takes that one outside for ball 1. The 1-0. That's smoked, and that will drop in right field. And McIntosh rounds third and scores, and it is 6-1 Dominican. An RBI there for Walker. That is her 17th RBI of the year. And the 10th hit of the game for Dominican. So Haley Ridge steps in. She had a 3-run shot to right field in her previous at-bat. Her 4th RBI is waiting for her at second. There's 2 down here in the top of the 4th. She swings at the first pitch into shallow right. Maida tracks it down and makes the grab to retire the side. Dominican, they get 2 across in the top of the 4th, and we head to the bottom of the 4th. 6-1, Lady Chargers. 5, 6, 7 due up here for the Eagles. In the bottom of the fourth, Sakala walked in her first at-bat. Dominican with 10 hits, Post only with 2, and it is 6-1 Lady Chargers trying to get their third consecutive victory over Post. And their 11th on the year, their 8th in conference. And these are the final 2 games of the regular season for Post. Not the final 2 games of the regular season for Dominican. They have Wilmington at home tomorrow in a doubleheader. First pitch of the first game is slated to start at 2:30. Umpires converging in that Dominican dugout, talking something over. Music is still playing. It looks like we are ready for the bottom of the fourth here at Lemoyne in Game 1. .63 pitches for Baxter, 2 hits allowed. 1 earned run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. And the first pitch at the bottom of the fourth is low to Sakala. One out. Hit right back to Baxter. She has all the time in the world, and she goes to first in time. 1 down here in the bottom of the fourth. Maida walked in her first at-bat. Steps in for her second here in the doubleheader. Maida thought about squaring there and pulls it back as that one was upstairs. The 1-1. Maida slaps it behind the backstop, foul. Maida played her high school softball at Notre Dame Academy. Last year as a junior, played in 33 games, starting in 23. Takes that one upstairs and out. Hit .208 last year. Recorded 11 hits in 53 at-bats with 6 RBIs. And she fouls that one down the third base line. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. 10-2 in hits in favor of Dominican and a 6-1 lead for the Lady Chargers. Dominican currently on the outside looking in the CACC playoffs. Maida will get rung up right there. That is the 8th strikeout of the game for the sophomore. And there's 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth. Calabrese struck out looking in her first at-bat. Baxter looking for the nice little 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the fourth and get Dominican back to the bats where they have been prolific here in Game 1. 10 hits, 6 runs. Baxter winds and fires. And Calabrese fouls it away. Calabrese, she did strike out looking in her first at-bat, but man, she worked a really good at-bat, fouled away a lot of pitches. And the 0-2 is on its way from Baxter. Upstairs and out. The 0-2 ripped to the left side. McIntosh, it took a bad hop. And Maida reaches first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. That will certainly be ruled an error. Dickinson struck out swinging in her first at-bat. That one paints the inside corner. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Calabrese is on first. So 1 error for Dominican, 1 error for Post on that Calabrese. Dribbler to the left side. The sun has disappeared a bit here at Lemoyne. Clouds taking over. And those look like some dangerous clouds incoming, but the rain should hold off. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and Baxter looking for a 9th strikeout of the game. And that one's fouled away. Two. Another foul ball there by Dickinson. Working a nice at-bat here. Once again, the 2-2. That's lifted up in the infield. Should be playable. Walker is under it, and she makes the grab. 4 innings in the books. 6-1 Dominican. right, so if you were wondering where we went, just saw something that I don't think I've ever seen before. Our home plate umpire pulled a groin, so they had to have a call to the bullpen and change up and switch umpires during the break. So we welcome you back here to Lemoy Field on the campus here at Post University. It is the top of the fifth, just recapping you what's gone on here as we just took a 10 to 15 minute break there in between the bottom of the fourth and the top of the fifth. 10 hits for Dominican, 2 hits for Post. It's a 6-1 lead for the Lady Chargers. And Giovanna Salcido will lead things off. So very peculiar there, an unusual situation that just arose. Definitely going to be a little challenging for these players to stay loose during that break and get themselves back into the rhythm of the game. We are back off and running with Caldwell missing low and inside. 65 pitches now for Madison Caldwell, 10 hits allowed, 6 earned runs, 0 walks, 3 strikeouts. All 3 of those strikeouts coming in the top of the first, and that one is sliced into right field, and it will just be foul down that right field line. Salcido is 2 for 2. Single to left in both of her at-bats. Again, these are the 2 final games of the regular season here for the Eagles. 6-38 on the year. Dominican, they have 2 more games tomorrow at home against Wilmington. First pitch in the game 1 is slated for 2:30 as that one is ripped, and DeAngelis making an athletic play and securing the grab for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th. Adriana Barnes, the right fielder here today for Dominican, is 0 for 2. But she reached base on both of her at-bats. She swings at the first one, and DeAngelis makes the first 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. So Emily Angulo is 0 for 2. Takes that one low and in. Ground out to third in her previous at-bat. One error for both teams. That one paints the outside corner. Looks like we had some possible showers coming in, but it looks like it's going to pass us, and we're going to be okay. As you can, if you can see the clouds right behind the backstop, they don't look too friendly. And that one is skied into center field. Coming in is Peruso to make the grab. 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 5th. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It is a 6-1 lead for the Lady Chargers. All right, bottom of the 5th. It is 9 and then top due up here for the Eagles. In the bottom of the 5th, Peruso struck out swinging in her first at-bat. Made that last grab in the top of the 5th to secure the 1-2-3 for the Eagles. Down 6-1 here in Game 1. And we have Game 2 coming up next following the conclusion of Game 1. 10-2 in hits. Dominican leads it. Peruso swings at the first pitch and fouls it away behind the Eagles' dugout. 82 pitches now for Baxter. She has been outstanding. 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 hits, and 1 earned run. The 0-1. Peruso got jammed on it, and McIntosh secures it for out number 1. So that brings up the top of the order. DeAngelis with one of the 2 hits here in game 1. She singled to left in her previous at-bat. Struck out looking in her first at-bat. 1 for 2. And takes that one upstairs and out. On its way from Baxter. And it's poked into shallow left. Could be trouble, but it is not. And McIntosh got the quick step there to make the grab. And she's made the first 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. So Sam Ricarduli, who struck out swinging in her previous at-bat, steps in for her 3rd at-bat here in game 1, 0 for 2. Ricarduli, a graduate student from Yorktown, New York. Swings and misses at that one. Last year as a senior, played in 46 games, starting in 44, recorded a .228 batting average, so much improved here in this year, coming into the doubleheader, hitting .350. Looks at that one upstairs and out. One, two. Fouled away. Ricarduli trying to start a little bit of a 2-out rally here in the bottom of the 5th. Lily Tomasello, who's 1 for 2, is on deck. She's got the major storyline coming into this doubleheader for the Eagles. Ricarduli flies that to the Dominican bullpen. And the count stays at 1 and 2. Baxter looking for her 9th strikeout of the game, and that one slapped down the third base line, foul. So back-to-back foul balls there by Ricarduli. Once again, the 1-2. And that's poked right center field. That will be extra bases for Ricarduli. Her 51st hit of the season. And the Eagles looking for a 2-out rally. And that brings up Lily Tomasello. 2nd in the conference this year in home runs. Needs 1 more to break the single season record here at Post with 10. She nearly had it in her previous at-bat with that RBI double that hit off of the fence in left center field. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it behind the Eagles dugout into the Eagles bullpen. One. Up and in. Tomasello with the lone run batted in here in this one. Eagles trail at 6-1. Ricarduli's hit makes it 3 hits now for the Eagles here in game 1. And the 1-1. Up and out. Tomasello may get another at-bat here after this one, depending on how Baxter deals in the next 2, or really the next inning in the bottom of the 6th. Tomasello hits that one foul. We're on pins and needles here Every swing by Tomasello, you just gasp for air and wait to see the result. It's a huge wind gust. And the 2-2, that is hit into shallow left. It will drop. And that is the second run batted in by Tomasello. And that's a 2-out RBI single. Her 30th run batted in on the year. And it is 6-2 Dominican thanks to Lily Tomasello. So depending on how things go in the bottom of the sixth, that might be Tomasello's last at-bat here in Game 1. Still got Game 2 coming up next. Following the conclusion of this one, Regano, who struck out twice, steps in. Takes that one on the outside corner for a strike. So Eagles now with 4 hits, 2 of those coming from Tomasello, and 2 runs, both of those driven in by number 31 in white. It's 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Tomasello on first, and Regano will have a word with Mike Brienza, an assistant coach here for the Eagles. So Regano receives the advice from Mike Brienza and steps back into the batter's box. One, swing and a miss. Regano just seems a little bit late here on her swings. Baxter looking for a 9th strikeout of the game. And that one's fouled away. Might draw a car, and it nearly does. The 1-2. And that rings up Regano. 9 strikeouts for Baxter. Eagles get 1 across in the bottom of the 5th. It is 6-2 Dominican as we head to the top of the 6th. Top of the 6th here at Lamoille, a 6-2 lead for Dominican. Eagles get 1 across in the bottom of the 5th. 10-4 in hits, Dominican. And it is Espinoza who is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Single to left in her first at-bat, and then single to center in her previous at-bat. 8-9, and then top do appear for Dominican in the top of the 6th. Caldwell just threw her 72nd pitch. 10 hits, 6 earned runs, 0 walks, 3 strikeouts. And all 3 of those strikeouts coming in the top of the 1st. And the 1-0. That's golfed into foul play on that right field line, just foul. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to the designated player here for Dominican in game 1. Espinoza, a freshman. Swings and misses at that one. And Caldwell able to get ahead here, 1-2. Espinoza comes into the doubleheader with a .364 batting average. Takes that one upstairs for ball 2. A .571 slugging percentage against CAC opponents coming into the doubleheader, and she skies that one foul. Two balls, 2 strikes. Lead off batter here in the top of the 6th. Caldwell deals another foul ball. Two. Low. Counts full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch on its way from Caldwell. And that's rolled over. DeAngelis fields it and fires in time. 1 down. That brings up the 9-hitter, Tony Jo Lopez, with 2 bunts in her 2 at-bats. Obviously not going to bunt here with no runners on. Takes a first pitch in the dirt for a ball. And that one is jammed, and DeAngelis makes the grab. McIntosh had an RBI double up the middle in her previous at-bat. She is 1 for 3. Trying to start a little bit of a 2-out rally here in the top of the 6th. And that one is ripped right up the middle. McIntosh with a 2-out single here in the top of the 6th. Beautiful piece of hitting. So back-to-back hits up the middle for McIntosh. And there's a runner on here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Kasovitz, 2 for 3 with an RBI. One ball, 1 strike. And that paints the outside corner. That one's fouled away. 11 hits here for Dominican, 4 for Post. Eagles trying to get back to the bats, chasing 4 runs here in game 1. Trying to get their first win against Dominican since April 12th, 2022. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs to the number 2 batter, and that's up and in. 2-2. Check swing. Did she go? No. Counts full. Big time payoff pitch coming up here from Caldwell. And the 3-2. That's hit out into center field. Peruso makes the grab to retire the side. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It is 6-2 Dominican. Bottom of the 6th here at Lemoy Field. Eagles chasing 4 runs. It is 5-6-7 due up here for the Eagles. Juliana Sakala, 0 for 1 with a walk, steps in. Ground out to the pitcher in her previous at-bat. Baxter with the 102 pitches, 9 strikeouts, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and 2 strikeouts. And the first pitch in the bottom of the 6th is right down Broadway for strike 1. 11 hits for Dominican, 4 for Post, 1 error for both squads. And that one is golfed, but right to Tony Joe Lopez. And she makes the grab. Nice piece of contact there by Sakala, but just hit it to the wrong spot. And there's 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Maida swings at the first pitch into shallow center, and coming to make a major highlight. Grab was Kasovitz, and there's 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. What a play. That's supreme effort there by the center fielder. Calabrese is 0 for 2. She reached first on an error in her previous at-bat. Struck out in her first. Takes the first pitch low and in. The 1-0. Nearly dotted that outside corner, but it just misses. Ripped to the right side. Tony Joe Lopez fields it cleanly and throws it to first in time. 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 6th. We head to the 7th at 6-2 Dominican. Top of the 7th. A 6-2 lead for Dominican, looking for some insurance runs here against Caldwell. Caldwell has thrown 90 pitches, allowed 11 hits, 6 earned runs, 0 walks, 3 strikeouts. It is 3-4-5. The meat of the order is due up here for Dominican, pardon me. Madison Walker swings at the first pitch. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI and a strikeout here in the game. That's fouled away, 1-2 now to the 3 batter. Madison Walker, a graduate student from Southampton, New Jersey. Hits that one to deep right, and Calabrese gets under it and has some room to make the grab for out number 1 here in the top of the 7th. Haley Ridge steps in. She's 1 for 3. Her lone hit was that 3-run moonshot that sailed over the fence in right field. Back in the top of the 3rd. She flew out to shallow right in her previous at-bat and lines this one into right center. And that will hit off of the fence, and it will be an extra base for Ridge as she strolls into second with a 1-out double here in the top of the 7th. So an insurance run is out there here for Salcedo, who is 2 for 3. 12 hits now for Dominican. And Dominican on the outside looking in. They are currently the 9th seed in the CACC. We got a pinch runner here. Isabella Mitterrando into second base here. Skied into right field. Calabrese makes the catch. Tagging from second to third is Mitterrando. And 2 down here in the top of the 7th. That brings up Barnes, who's 0 for 3. That one misses outside. So 2 balls, 0 strikes, 2 outs. Caldwell looking to get the Eagles back to the bats here and try and chase 4 runs with 0 damage done here in the top of the 7th. Dominican has not scored since the top of the 4th. They put up 4 in the top of the 3rd and then 2 in the top of the 4th. The Eagles put up 1 in the bottom of the 3rd and then 1 in the bottom of the 5th. That might squeak through. Maida stops it and throws it to first. What a highlight! Huge play by Maida. And we head to the bottom of the 7th. 6-2 Dominican. Eagles chasing 4 here in the bottom of the 7th. They have 8, 9, and then top due up. Dickinson 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Will lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th. Baxter 108 pitches, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. And the first pitch is a dribbler. Walker steps on it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Eagles down to their final 2 outs here in game 1. Caruso is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Popped up to short in her previous at-bat. Swings at the first pitch and whiffs on it. 12 forward hits, Dominican. Both teams have committed an error. And the 0-1. Fouled away. Zero balls, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss, the 10th strikeout of the game for Baxter. And the Eagles are down to their final out, and the top of the order will come up. DeAngelis popped up to shallow left in her previous at-bat. Singled to left in her second at-bat. She is 1 for 3. Swing and a miss on the 1-0. The 1-1. Fouled away, and the Eagles down to their final strike here in game 1. Again, game 2 coming up at the conclusion of this one. Baxter, 112 pitches. She has been scintillating here in her 26th start of the year. Came into this one with 157.1 innings of work, and she misses upstairs and out on the 1-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 0 runners on. Dominican looking to close the door here in game 1. Baxter winds and fires. Popped up in the infield, should be a can of corn. And it is. That will take care of game 1. Dominican wins 6-2, 10 strikeouts from Baxter. And they get the W here in game 1. Game 2 is coming up next, right here on the CACC Network.